Well, a pleasant good morning to everyone. My name is Ratiba Gus. I am the project assistant for the NJSBDC at Rutgers-Newark. And on behalf of Dr. Tendai Ondoro, the regional director, I would like to welcome you all to the webinar today, How to Pre-Qualify Online Vendors Before You Buy. Sorry. The New Jersey Small Business Development Center at Rutgers-Newark is the premier provider of business training and technical assistance services to establish small businesses, startups, and entrepreneurs in New Jersey, particularly to those in Essex County. We are one of 12 centers in the NJSBDC network. Our center is hosted by the Rutgers Business School and funded through a public-private partnership agreement between the SBA, Rutgers University, and New Jersey Business Action Center. Our mission is to help entrepreneurs and business owners start and grow sustainable, successful businesses through the delivery of one-on-one business consulting, training, and technical assistance programs. For the benefit of everyone attending today's webinar, audio has been muted, and we will be taking questions via the Q&A feature here on Zoom. Please feel free to post your questions, and we will do our best to respond during or at the end of the presentation. A copy of the presentation slides, along with a video recording of the webinar, will be emailed to you within 48 to 72 business hours. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you our presenter for today's presentation, Carmen Morris. Carmen Morris is the owner of Vivari Associates and an SBDC consultant at the NJSBDC at Rutgers-Newark. I will now turn today's presentation over to Carmen.
Thanks, Rehi. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correct. So let me try to share my screen with everyone. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so thank you very much. As she said, my name is Carmen Morris, and so that we're not complete strangers, I've been in business for a little bit over 34 years, and I learned how to negotiate and do business worldwide. I started saying by trial and error, but it's been so long that I just do this and I don't even know how everything just falls together. But again, I'm the owner and founder of Vivari and Associate. I also do business on the BMCS. I am also a curriculum coach with Partners Worldwide International, where I teach a business curriculum in about 32 countries. But to go right into what we're going to discuss today, there may be many ways in which you can pre-qualify vendors online, but I'm just going to share with you the basics and some of the ways that I've been doing it, and many of my clients have been doing it for years. And I'm also going to share with you some of the platforms that you can go ahead and use. I'm going to share with you what is a supplier and a vendor, because people use these two terms interchangeably, and it means something different, a little different. So I would also share with you what may be the best fit for your business or your business model, or the things that you can do to determine that, and some of the resources that are available out there to you. As Reggie said before, if you have any questions, if you feel that I'm going a little too fast, at the end, I'm going to open it for Q&A. But in the meantime, you can start typing your questions as I go through the slides. And this is going to be emailed to you. So feel free to just go ahead and focus on the moment that you have that particular question and that you need an answer to. So as we go through the 7 things that you can consider when you're pre-qualifying a supplier online, let me just define first what is a supplier and what is a vendor. Suppliers are often referred to the manufacturers, basically, and they only do business with other businesses. So this is like a B2B term, so that only businesses to businesses. But a vendor is something different. A vendor can be a person or a business that is supplying or any type of merchandise to a particular market. In this case, we most refer to as the retailer. So a retailer can be a vendor that is just exhibiting their product or just supplying the product to the end consumer. So when you hear me speak about supplier or vendor, the supplier can also be a regional distributor that is in a particular region representing a product, or the direct manufacturer. And also, and then you can look at the vendor as the retail stores, or person who is just exhibiting their own product at a particular trade show. But you're going to hear me use these two terms interchangeably. So let's look at the things, the 7 things to consider, and where do you get started in pre-qualifying a particular supplier. The first thing that you need to start doing is putting together a strategy, determining the sourcing strategy that you are going to use to source your product. It's not just going online and just sourcing a product or looking for a product, and you're going to get thousands and thousands of products that come up. It takes more than that. When you're sourcing a supplier, or you already have defined what is the product that you're looking for, then you're going to choose and do your research on the platforms that you're going to go for this, where these suppliers are doing business. So, and I'm going to discuss this with you because I'm going to go through a few platforms that you can go, and how you can deal in identifying them and see if they're the best fit for your business. So, and why does a supplier have to be the best fit for your business? Because you have to remember, some businesses are seasonal and some businesses are not. Some products are more used in a particular season of the year. So what type of business do you have? Can this supplier provide you and supply you all these merchandise in the time that you need it? So you're going to look at all these. When I say business model, does it fit your timeline? Does it fit your does it fit your price that you're looking for? So when you're putting together this strategy, qualifying the supplier is key, because that is going to determine how the availability of the product. Even though you may have many other sources that you can go ahead and purchase from, but that qualifying the supplier determines sometimes affecting your profit margin. So how to avoid scams also. And I tell you, there is tons and tons of scams online. So this is one place that you have to pay close attention to, because the minute you do business with someone and you don't feel comfortable about it, or you see something is not right, you need to learn how to identify those red flags. And we're also going to discuss also about conducting a risk assessment. So these are the things that you need to consider when you're doing the sourcing strategy, when you're putting this together. I have always conducted myself and many of my clients have conducted themselves in looking at the product, the source, and the requirement. When you break those 3 components into what your business really needs, this is where it starts. The product, meaning, okay, so let me define what is it that I need? What product is it that I'm bringing to the marketplace? Or what do I need to manufacture? If you're going to be the manufacturer, if you're looking for someone to make a product for you, or determining also the price of the product, it's key here, because this is where your profit margin gets affected. So and I'm going to talk about this right here, determining the price and how you can make sure that this supplier fits your business model. So when you're doing this strategy, focusing on the product first, because you need to determine what is it that I'm looking for. Let me define this product, break it down at every level. Then am I going to use one source to supply me, or am I looking for multiple sources where I need? I often have clients that come to me and they don't only use one supplier, because in order to these are manufacturers, in order for them to put together, let's say, a garment or particular beauty product, sometimes they have to get the raw material from different suppliers. So the supplier that you may be looking for if it's not a finished product that you're looking for, if it's something that you're manufacturing, you may use different sources. Sometimes in sourcing for different sources in different countries or in different places, this can also affect your price and your profit margin. So when you're putting this strategy together, the product and the source go hand in hand. So then the requirements will be, what is it that you as a company, as an organization, require from this supplier? Does it have to be licensed? This is a profile that you will create for your supplier. Do you require a license? Does the supplier have to be insured? Uh, do I need references from this person? Do I need to see are they supplying someone else? I remember in 1999, 98, I was using a supplier, a manufacturer in China. And the way that I sourced that supplier was that they were at that time supplying to a store named The Limited. They had their own private label. And I came across that they were selling a closeout in their factory. So I knew that if they were dealing with The Limited, I knew that this would be someone that I can trust. So I use that as reference. But sometimes big suppliers present themselves online in a way that may fit your requirement, but if you don't do your due diligence, this is where trouble starts. So when you create, when I say the requirements is creating a profile for that particular supplier, what do they need to have? And once you create this strategy, once you know what the product is, once you know what sources and platforms are you going to use to go search for the supplier. Now the supplier have to fit the requirements of your company. The profile that you yourself will create just to create a safe net for your organization. So let's talk about some of the platforms that I'm not recommending. Let me just make this disclosure. I am not recommending that you use any of this in particular. I'm going to share the ones that are out there. I'm going to share the ones that I've used in the past. I'm going to share one that I've been on it for the last 15 years, and how to protect yourself. eWord Trade. This is a B2B platform. Let me see if I can share my screen. Um, can everyone see? Can everyone see my screen? Rick, can you see my screen? I'm on Alibaba, or let me go to can everyone see my screen? Bridget, can you hear me? Can everyone see my screen now? Well, I'm going to continue, and I'm going to assume, because I don't think the moderator it's on, and I don't see if she's listening right now. So I'm going to continue with the platforms. So I'm going to assume that everyone can hear me, and I apologize, but the moderator should be over here just answering me if she can see my screen. But this is one of the platforms that I use. This is eWord Trade is one of the platforms that are out there. I am sharing this platform with you, not saying that you should use it, but it's pretty safe. I've used it in the past, and many people can give you references. This is this is a company right out of the U.S., but their main headquarters is in Pakistan. So if and I'm saying that where their main headquarters is because when you're pre-qualifying a supplier that is on this platform, you can contact them direct and speak to them and ask them if this person have been verified and what are the qualifications for their verification. So that way, you know that if you're using this platform, anybody that you use from here, you can contact them direct. But for the sake of, I just wanted to share this one platform with you, but for the sake of this presentation, I also use Wholesale Central. These are all suppliers in the US. You can find out where the suppliers and are. You can also find out, it's just about any product that you want, you can find here. This is also a B2B platform. You can also find out about all the trade shows in the US. Now these trade shows are being done, virtually. So you can also ask them and go directly to them and see how they can assist you in pre-qualifying the supplier and knowing that this is a legit person you're dealing with on this platform. Also, Reference USA. Reference USA is a platform that you can use, and is you're going to need your library card. Any library carries this platform that you can go ahead and log in, and you can see any manufacturer in the US, you can see any supplier, you can look at the references that you can use references of what people have seen, what people have done, people that have done business with them. Also, global source. Can everyone hear me? I'm concerned because I'm not hearing the moderator saying yes or no. I'm not hearing the moderator, so I'm concerned. Can everyone hear me? Can you please type in the Q&A? Can you please type and tell me that you are able to hear me? I see that somebody asked a question. How were you able to identify the company what's already doing business with the limited? I was able to identify the company because they were private label, and I saw the clothing that they were doing, and I saw the labels that it was for the limited. I was able to identify that, but I was at the factory myself. So everybody says that they can hear me. Okay, so I'm going to continue then. I'm sorry that I just cannot, I didn't hear the moderator come back. Another platform is Global Source. As I said, Reference USA, you need a library card. You go to your local library and they can go ahead and log you into this platform. There is tons of information there. If you're not familiar with the platform, you can ask the librarian to take you through it, and you can go ahead and source by location, zip code, anywhere you want in the US. And most of the people on Reference USA are pretty legit, and it's very simple for you to find out if that particular supplier is it has a registered company in the US. when it comes to eWord trade, it is a US based company, but it is, as I said before, these people are main headquarters is in Pakistan, and but you can still talk to them and find out once you choose the supplier, once you have the product, this is where you go to verify. These are the people. You start with the platform on Alibaba. Let me go there because I've been on that platform, and it's a platform where a lot of people get scammed. But luckily, I've been using it for over 15 years, and I'm also a supplier on Alibaba. I've never been scammed because I'm very careful, and I'm going to teach you. In fact, let me just go there. Let me go there and to Alibaba and show you how, I'm assuming that you can see my screen. I'm going to show you, let's say you're looking for, let's say beauty and personal care, let's say hair products. Let me just show you everything that pops up. Okay, here are some suppliers. My network is a little slow, so just let me just try to go back. Let's go to fashion accessories better. Okay, here it is. Okay, I got bicycles. So whatever the product is it really doesn't matter, but this is a particular supplier. Let me just go back. Just bear with me 1 second. Okay, so these are all the different products in this particular company ready to ship. Let me just go back. This is not really what I want. I don't want to go to my own up here because I don't want to show. Okay, here we go. Okay. So you see this particular company, it says verified for 12 years. Well, okay, they're verified, but you know what? Even if it's 12 years, that kind of gives me a sense of security. But I've known of companies that say this and they're not legit. So I only look for companies that are gold suppliers on Alibaba. And for some reason, all of the companies that I see here, they're just verified. They're just verified. So none of these companies would be my first choice. However, if I'm looking for hats and I'm looking for the best price and I'm saying, okay, so here's a hat for between 86 cents and $1.83. And this will fit my, my business model. But I want to make sure if this company that has been verified for 16 years, I would be a little concerned because verified for 16 years, although it sounds like a long time, the process of verification from Alibaba has changed in the last 5 years. And the way that they verify you is that you have to send your certificate of registration to them. Then you have to, and they have a verification process in the US. So I'm not knocking down the verification process, but there are companies that supply things and say that they're verified when indeed they kind of shaky. So if it's 16 years, there's many, and you absolutely want to do business with this particular company, then you can go and do the due diligence, which is checking their license with their local chambers in China. They have websites and they have different organizations and companies that you can go and have them verify whether this person is legit. And I'm telling you, when it have to do with overseas, in any country, not only China, I'm saying China because I do most of my business out of either China or India. But the reason I say this is because some of them put themselves and show themselves to be very legit online, and sometimes they're not. But when the company is just verified for 2 years or 3 years, I stay away from it. I'll be honest with you, I stay away from it unless they are a gold supplier. When If they are a gold supplier, then that's a different story. Then when I am doing my search here, I only say products and then I say gold suppliers. And that's the only thing, that's the only people that I, in fact, I have some orders that I have processed here. I have some orders that I have processed here. My internet is a little slow, so it's very difficult for me to look for certain things. I just want to show you what a gold supplier looks like and where you should look for the companies, because it'll say up in the corner gold supply. But for the sake of time, you can just go and do this on your own. I just wanted to take you through Alibaba. Only use gold suppliers to begin with. No matter how big or how small your order is, you only use the gold suppliers. So I'm going to go back to the presentation. So these are the three main platforms that I am very familiar with and that you can go and to make sure that the suppliers are legit. But anyway, when it comes to the US, doing business in the US, you can go ahead and narrow the process of you making sure that this supplier is legit. Choosing the supplier of the business, the best fits your business model. Following the strategy that we spoke about before. Let me see if I can go back. Remember, this is strategy. Let me try to move this thing up so you can, okay, so you can look at the, okay. Remember the strategy, defining the product, determining the price. Now the sources is what I'm focusing on right now. So when you're looking at the what is the source that you would choose? Is it a manufacturer? Is it a distributor? Is it a wholesaler, or is it a vendor? Remember the difference between the vendor and the supplier. Most people right now are doing business directly with the manufacturers, because manufacturers, many years ago, manufacturers would only deal with very large quantity. They do that at this point, but right now people are trying just to do business any way they can. So manufacturers sometimes have overruns that they need to, the 5-20% overall sometimes that they need to get rid of in their factory. And what they do is that they work with the wholesaler and the vendor so that they can go ahead and get rid of that merchandise. I know for a fact that before in January, like the first week of January, in China, they normally try to get rid of most of the products that they have in their factory. So if you're searching for a particular product and you see a whole bunch of manufacturers, you can go to them and ask them if they have any overruns that they need to get rid of. Overruns are the surplus that they manufacture in case of, for terms of quality control. They sometimes go 5% and it stays in their factory because the person or the company who is manufacturing or whom they manufacturing that product for is not obligated to take that surplus that they run in case of any malfunction or any defects on any of the product. But anyway, determining which is the source, the supplier that you are going to do business with. Now determine where to buy. Are you going to buy in the US domestically? Are you going to buy in China, India, Mexico, and so on? So those are the things that you need to consider. So when qualifying the supplier is, how do I know this supplier is legit is the main question. Contact the platform customer service. As I said, you can contact Alibaba, you can contact eWordTrade, you can contact Global Resource, you can contact them directly. Most of the platforms that I share with you have either offices in the US or have headquarters in the US. I know for a fact that Alibaba has a very tight security system, and they will work with you. They will give you the information that you need. And if you are a company that needs to register with them, they take you through a process of verification, and it's pretty good. Like I said, I have no problems. Now there are people who go and purchase very small quantities in what is called AliExpress, which deals more with small wholesalers and retailers, or one-on-one with a person that just wants to buy a few products. I don't use that platform. It is very easy to get scammed there because sometimes you purchase something and what you get is not what you will see. So what I recommend for people to do is to place what is called sample orders. Even if you're dealing with a large manufacturer, you can always say, can I just place a sample order of, I know your minimum is 100, so I'm going to place a sample order of 10 pieces, just because I need to see I need to order one sample. You can also do that because you need to see that if you're ordering 50 dozens of a particular item, you need to see that it is what it looks in the picture. Most times it's not what is like it's not what is on the picture. So that you're not disappointed, you order one sample in order for you to verify that this is the quality and this is the product that you're looking for. So as I say, you contact the vendor. If the person is in the US, ask for tax ID number, licenses and permits. These are ways that you can verify. Always do your due diligence. Always go according to that strategy that you're going to interview. You can interview the supplier or the vendor if you're just buying a small quantity. Ask also assistance from the, if you're purchasing from overseas and you're doing a large purchase, you import into the US or exporting to another country, you can ask the local US embassy. There's always a person there from the Department of Commercial Services who can assist you in verifying a company in a particular country that you want to do business with. Contact the local chamber of commerce. Most companies register themselves with their local chamber of commerce. Place a sample order, as I said, and consider payment terms. Also, payment terms, you need to consider this in order to minimize risk. I know that if you're ordering from outside of the US, most companies, you have to pay up front. They would not allow you to say, okay, I'll pay you half here and then I'll pay you the other percentage when the product arrives. But most of the platforms that I just shared with you also have what is called paid assurance, that the supplier does not get paid until you receive the item. I know for a fact that Alibaba has that service, and it doesn't cost you much. It's about 1 or 2% of the order, which is not a lot if you're doing an investment of placing an order and you want to make sure that the product you order is what you will receive. Once you receive the product, that you confirm with them then they pay the supplier. So these suppliers also that offer paid assurance are very, very key for you to, is a safe net, because you'll be sure that the product that you're receiving is what you order. So, and if you're not happy with the product, this is what you would do. You just return the product to them, and Alibaba will refund you the money to your account. They would not pay the supplier. So when also aside of Gold Supplier, also the paid assurance service from these platforms, key for you to use and making sure that you will not get scammed. So to avoid scams, you have to look at step number one, identifying the supplier. Remember, you identify who they are, then which is in your strategy is the source, the company, the organizational structure, verifying their location. Let me tell you why verifying the location is key here. Sometimes uh, those who try to scams on these platforms, they would tell you that they're in a particular region. And when you're doing the transaction and you're looking, getting quotes on shipping costs, then they'll give you another location. I caught a person, a supplier in China about 8 years ago, who was telling me, this is where we are, and this is what the factory is. So when I'm getting a quote from a freight forwarder, the freight forwarder confirms with me that this is not where the company is giving them their location. So to me, that was kind of fishy. And sure enough, I had to report them because they were not a legit supplier. So verifying the location is key, and the number of years in business. As I discussed before, if they have been verified so many years ago, that to me is also a red flag. I need to know that, okay, you've been verified 16 years ago, but you're not a gold supplier, or you've never been a gold supplier. That to me doesn't make sense. So then this is the who, the step one. The step two is the what. The product category, quality assurance, the certifications and other licenses that go along with whatever product you're buying. The step three is the where. What country or region? The country or region of where your product is and where you need it to calculate as the landed price, meaning put in your warehouse or put in your home, or if you have a home-based business, or the product uh, arriving in a particular store, whatever it is, that's you have to calculate the landed price. So the country or region affects your profit margin, because if you're purchasing a product from a supplier in Brooklyn, and then versus purchasing a product of a supplier in California, it's going to affect your profit margin because of transportation costs. Same is if you're purchasing a product in China and is in the seaport, which is something I have to discuss. The seaport where your merchandise have to go to that seaport, and they're in a region in China where they're not near the coastline. That cost, you incur that cost of transportation, because you have to get that product from point A to point B, and in point B, there is a cost that incurs and it goes into your product. So when calculating the price, there's a lot of factors that have to be thought of there. So, and I don't want to get away from the pre-qualification, but in pre-qualifying a vendor or supplier, they have to fit your business model. So pricing is key. So you have to see what part of the country or what region, where are they? Are they fitting my business model? Now, the local government registration and the coastal and industrial area. Sometimes you have to identify. Some suppliers say, oh, I'm in such part of Brooklyn, New York, let's say. And it's very easy right now that for you to see, okay, so are there any other warehouses? Are you near the seaport, or where are you? So identifying the area, are there in an industrial area? Where are they? The where is key also in you identifying whether this person is legit or not. Now, conducting a risk assessment. This is a profile that you will put together also as well. Conducting a risk assessment, identifying, okay, what is the hazard of this particular supplier to my company? How can they harm me? Can I lose my money? So you are the one who evaluates this within the strategy when you're creating that vendor profile for your product. I know that if you go online, you're going to get thousands and thousands of people, but this is something that you do once. And anytime you're conducting business with a particular supplier, they have to fit that profile. And it has to, and you have created what is the threat to me? What is the vulnerability? Where is the risk? Identifying the risk is identifying the red flag that supplier is giving you. And you should always plan to see this, because chances are that you will come across someone who or a supplier that is posting at something and is trying to sell you something that is not beneficial to your organization, so or that may not fit your business model. So when you're trying to minimize the risk, if you are doing business locally with a supplier, let's say in the state of where you are, drop by the factory, look at the warehouse, go inspect the merchandise. Also, there are companies that do this for you. If you're, let's say, if it's in another state, in Florida, California, and you in New York, there are companies that do these services. There are inspection companies that some of them do it for $200-300, depending on the load, or if it's a container, if it's just a few boxes. But there's companies that give you these services in which you can go and they can go and inspect the merchandise. And also I've done this with international companies in which we conduct a surprise business video call, not letting them know, okay, I'm calling you today. So no, I call them, I put me on video, show me, and I go over it. But there's many ways and you can minimize the risk by just go ahead and seeing and doing it yourself, doing your due diligence. So in summary, I'm going to open it for questions now, but just remember, contact the platform that you're doing business with to verify the supplier. I don't do business. I only recommend Go suppliers on Alibaba. And even if they are verified, I do my due diligence in verifying who they are. Many people post with a legit website, and let me just tell you, scammers go to the extreme in posting as very legit online. So the only way that you're going to protect yourself and protect your business is by you doing your due diligence. Go to who is that you can identify what the domain name, who registered it. Ask for tax ID number, get references. For international purchases, look for the assistance of the U.S. Department of Commercial Services. They can assist you. They can assist you with verifying the company overseas. If you're purchasing a container of merchandise from another country, it's worth the investment. They have the services that they can give you a report on a particular company, and they can do the legwork in that particular country that you don't even have to travel. I sometimes just take the time and just travel and go look for myself but that's because I probably have some other business to do there. But eh, in doing your due diligence, there's a lot of resources that you can use. Some are free and some you have to pay a small amount, but it's worth it. Always follow your sourcing strategy and always conduct a risk assessment. What is the risk to your company? So I'm going to open it for questions now. Reggie, are you there? Am I pronouncing your name right? Hello? Well, I'm going to read the questions. Can you open the, are you there? Just bear with me a minute, please. Okay, so now you can hear me. Carol, I'm sorry. I was answering your question. Is there a list of available available platforms? Yes, there is a, you can go, you're gonna get an email with this presentation. So you're gonna see the names of the ones that I recommended here. There's many others, but these are the ones that I'm most familiar with, and these are the most popular ones. But you can just go and on Google and just enter their name and you're gonna see the platform just come up. Are there any other question? If you can hear me, please acknowledge me. I don't hear the moderator here, so it's very hard for me to, it's very hard for me to just communicate because I will open the line so that but I don't have that control here. So if you can just go ahead and please and ask your question on the Q&A section. I know Paola Sanchez just raised your hand. Can you just type your question on the Q&A? I'm gonna just try to call directly to the office. Just give me 1 minute. Hi, everyone. I apologize. I just called her, so she's going to come on and allow the audio for people. But Paola Sanchez, you asked how you manage the shipping, because that is a big problem with those sources like Alibaba. The shipping, it's you. So there is a lot of, you have to, most of the time, depending on how big your order is, and I know this is not about shipping, this is just about suppliers. Uh, Many times, since it's on you, you have to source your own freight forwarder. Most of the time in this platform, Alibaba has the shipping services. If a supplier tells you that they don't know or they don't have a way to ship anything to you, that you have to arrange that, that to me is a big red flag, because most suppliers have their sister clients in with the shipping, whether it's DHL, China Post, or UPS. So, and they always give you a quote. You can get a quote yourself and have them pick up if you have a corporate DHL account. But most of the time, the supplier should be able to give you this information. So that to me would be a big red flag. Are there any other questions? Yeah, it's so expensive, Paola. You know why it's expensive? Sometimes when I see, this is why you have to calculate the price. You can ask the supplier if they have any consignment with any company, that it goes ocean with any company. So that's why you can, if you're just ordering like 12 boxes of a particular product, and the supplier says, oh, the product, the merchandise costs $200, but then the shipping is $235 by itself, that's too much. So because it's eating up all your profit margin. So what you do is that you look for different companies that do consignment, and they do freight forwarding. It might take you 6 weeks. This is why some people, you see some people, it takes you like 5 to 6 weeks for you to get the product, is because it's coming ocean. It's not uh it's not air or express. I know that I deal with China Post is more inexpensive because they do consignment. So when they ship for you, it's inexpensive. Are there any other questions? Please type your questions. I'll be here waiting. I just wait a few minutes and see when she comes back. The moderator comes back. She's having technical problems on her end. So just bear with me 1 second. If you have any other questions, any experiences that you have that you may need assistance with. Also, you can always call the center, and a counselor would work with you. So if you have any issues with sourcing suppliers online, there's people that are experienced and work with you. This is a free service, guys, so take advantage of it. For those of you that were asking about the platforms, let me just go back there. Let me just get this out of the way. Some of you were talking about, let me just see if I have let me just go back to one of the order. You see, remember when when I looked at the trade assurance, you can look at that yourself and read through it. This is a way for you to verify the supplier. My network is kind of slow too, so this is a way that you can protect your orders on Alibaba. I don't want to go to many, let me see. Oh, I wanted also to cover this. These are requests of quote. You can always contact a supplier and have them give you a request, a quote on whatever product you're having, whatever product you are searching for. These are all the services. See, pay later, they have pay later, payment terms. Some company give you 60 days. So that is when even logistics service, you can go on Alibaba and click on logistics service and it'll give you all the options that you can have. Let's say, for instance, you want to order this, this is in Shenzhen, China. I go there to Shenzhen all the time. And I go there to not to purchase this, but to purchase electronics, cell phone, and stuff like that. So Shenzhen, you can just go ahead and click on that, and it'll take you to the companies who you want to do business with. But if you look at the company where the location is, you're going to find a whole lot of companies, and then you see the prices. These prices is depending on the quantity. This is never the price that they're selling things at. But excuse me, but it's mostly close to it. So this will go from the minimum order to from the maximum order to the minimum order. That's what these prices mean. So if you're searching for a supplier that has a certain quantity, and let me tell you guys, these quantities are very, very negotiable right now. So you can go ahead and negotiate just about anything, because people, with this pandemic, it has been very difficult. So everybody is trying to do business. Regid, are you back online? Are you with us?
Hello,
Are
can
you
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Is the question, I don't have, I don't think I can hear the questions, and I was.
That's quite odd. Let me.
Okay, so you see the Q&A?
Yeah, I see it. So I see the Q&A. So we have one question. And it says, I'm just starting out and I hear about China shopping trips. Are you aware of any good, legitimate trips?
Say that again.
I'm just starting out and I hear about China shopping trips. Are you aware of any good, legitimate trips?
I am. I can. I don't normally advertise this on as part of the SBDC, because I don't recommend anybody. We do trips. My company does trips once a year or once every other year with a group of delegates that we take to different trade shows. But there are trips out there by other companies that do it, but I don't recommend anybody unless I mean, you'll have to do your due diligence. But there are trips in which they take you. We have done it many times, which they take you and they help you source the product. They prepare you from here. What they do is that they prepare you here in you researching what products you're going to go for. So by the time you get to China, all your appointments are set up there with the companies and the suppliers, which is very good, because once you know where to go, you will just continue going, not only to China, to other different parts of the world, and even trade shows here in the US. They teach you how to shop and how to go negotiate with suppliers. but I don't particularly recommend a particular company. We do that, but not as I'm an independent contractor with the Small Business Development Center, and it's completely outside of Rutgers Small Business Development Center. That's not what they do, but they can. We just we work independently. Go ahead, Regent. Any other question?
Yeah, so there is another question. It said, oh, they just said, okay, thank you. Also, Carmen, if someone would like to talk, you can just click on their name and say allow to talk.
Okay, so do I have control over that on my end? I don't. Okay, so
Yes, you do.
okay, so let me. No, I don't have that. It says answer live. I don't have that option. You can open the mics because there's not a lot of people. You can go ahead and open it up on your end.
Right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and unmute everyone. And when they would like to speak, they can just talk to you.
Okay, that's great. That's even better. All right, anyone? Paola, you had a question. Can you just go ahead and speak and ask me? Is everyone unmuted?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
My question is, the China post that you was saying about the shipping is cheaper than the other ones, because I usually buy through Alibaba and other resources. And my problem is the shipping. It's so expensive. Sometimes my product is $200 and the shipping is 140,
Yes.
almost the same as I buy it.
Yes, you tell them to try China Post.
Okay.
Because if you don't need, if let's say if you're buying summer goods, like things for the summer, for next summer, this is
Okay.
what you visit. You purchase your product within your strategy should be in the season. So you give yourself 3 to 4 months, because if you have to use ocean, it's best because it's cheaper. It takes longer, but it's way cheaper than anything. And then you have to search the source for freight forwarders that do consignment. So they would put your boxes in their particular containers. So there's many ways that you can do it.
And how we find those sources, like the force online?
Yes. Freight forwarder, you just look for your local freight forwarders around you, and they can, but your supplier should be able to assist you with that. Then you're not dealing directly with a large supplier, you're dealing with the middleman. Because your supplier should have, even suppliers sometimes is better to deal with their form of transportation than us here. Like sometimes I go when I'm in China and I want to ship some stuff while I'm there, I use their DHL account because they get a better price quote than me from DHL, because they ship on a constant basis. That's one of the ways you can tell if you're dealing with a supplier directly. Because if that supplier ships on a constant basis, they should be able to give you a pretty good achievable quote on the shipment.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Hi, Carmen.
Yes.
Hi, I wanted to know, do you provide any consulting services? Let's say if someone is starting their business and they want to talk with you and, just kind of pick your brain, have questions, specific questions about certain things. Do you do any kind of consulting? Say you charge by the hour or anything like that?
Yeah, I do, but I recommend that you use the free one first.
Okay.
I recommend that you go to at the Small Business Development Center, you can go through there and request a counseling so that you can get all the basics and the platform of your business going. Because I normally work with the system businesses, and I am a consulting company, and then I charge by the hour, yes. But I recommend that you first go to through the SBDC, and if because we recommend at the SBDC. I'm a consultant with the SBDC, and I make recommendations to you for you to follow. We don't implement. We tell you what to do and the things that you can do, but working as a consultant is different. As a consultant, that's when if you need further instructions and you need further help, that's when I step in. Then you can go ahead and hire me as your consultant. Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
I was talking with the trips to China and that, and sometime I'm hoping that sometime next year we can go ahead and start planning for that. But if you're just starting the business, my recommendation is that you go to the center. You can even speak to me. You can speak to there's many of us that are there and are experiencing in many areas that can get you going and get you started. And that doesn't cost you anything. But I recommend that you take the courses, like there's the small business plan writing, the class. You can take the bookkeeping. There is also entrepreneurship Q&A, in which they teach you how to start your business, all the things that you need to do, just the basic stuff. But once you get to the point where, okay, I have my website, I have to start doing a website. Once you get to the place where, okay, I'm investing money into this, I need to place an order and I'm still lost, I still don't know what to do, then I recommend the consultancy. But in the beginning, if you're just starting, I recommend that you stay with the center and that you get all the skills, all your skills are built up, because this is what we're there for, to assist with the business. And then we can go ahead and move from there.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'll start there.
Any other question? You can also send me an email or just call the office and speak to one of the to our office administrator there, Priscilla, and they can just go ahead and set you an appointment right after. Anybody can just call and register for counseling.
The number is inside the presentation, or?
Yes, Reggie. I don't know if she can hear me. The number is 973 353 5950.
Okay, thank you very much.
Are there any other questions? Guys, before I close it up, I just want to know if are there any other questions?
Hello?
Yes.
Do you have more resources to get wholesale from, example, Colombia, another country that is not China?
I do, but I need to have the product. I need to know what are you looking for.
In my case, I'm selling woman clothes.
Apparel, clothing?
Woman clothes.
Women's clothing. Okay, so see, when you're looking for things, you have to say, okay, am I looking for lingerie? Am I looking for?
Yes, I sell that too.
So if you, I recommend Colombia. Yes, the quality is really good. Colombia, Ecuador, Peru. Okay, so
yes.
Yeah, there are resources. There's places that you can, if you go to that, you can search you see the platforms that I gave you, you can search by country.
Where? The one that I say,
eWord, you even have eWord, eWord.
keyword?
Yeah, you can search by country. All those platforms you can, global resources, you can search by country.
Okay.
Okay. And
Thanks.
remember, who am I speaking to?
I'm sorry?
Who am I speaking to? Just remember that you can call the center and
Paola.
Paola, call the center and ask for to speak to a
I couldn't take the number. I know it was 973.
yeah 35 5 wait I'm ready 353 5950. But you can, wherever you register for this webinar, Rishi, are you there so you can give everyone the information or put up the slide, please?
Yes, you can also go to our website and then just register for counseling. I'll put it in the chat box.
No, can you put up the slide? You can cut my screen and just share the screen with all the information for the center, please. I think it's on your first slide of your slide presentation.
Carmen, I'm unable to do that at the moment because my laptop is lagging, but that's why I said I have to put it in the chat.
Okay.
I can't see it though.
Okay. So the number, guys, the number is 973 353 5950, or you can go to www.NJSBDC and you search for Newark Center, Rutgers-Newark Center, NJSBDC. I think you're going to see it on the email that they will send you with this presentation, and you can register. You can log there and register for a request of counseling. Once you do a request of counseling and you're in the area of Essex County, you can always, someone will reach back to you and set up an appointment, whether with me or someone else. If you're outside of Essex County, you can also call the office and speak to someone so that they can arrange for you to speak to a counselor.
Okay, thank you, Carmen.
You're welcome. I hope I've answered everyone's question. Any other question before we close it up? Okay, guys, there are other webinars that are out there that you can come and register. I know I do webinars also on international trade, which this is, these are webinars that teach you how to also purchase and how to import and export from the US to another country or bring stuff into the US and the benefits that it offers. So I look forward to seeing you on other webinars. If there are any other questions, I would close it up now.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I hope this has been informative to everyone.
It was.